Ever stop to think about your data? Health records, finances, all that stuff online. You kind of assume it's locked down.
Yeah, you hope so.
Well, maybe not always as tight as we think. Today, we're diving into some real-world stories about finding security flaws.
Specifically focusing on one quite startling case.
Exactly. A guy named Alberto from Uruguay. We've looked at his story from a live video podcast he did and also a security conference talk.
Really compelling accounts.
Our mission here is to unpack the ethical knots, the unexpected stuff that happens when people find these holes, and what it all means for you listening.
Right. And often these big finds are just accidental. Like Alberto back around 2014, 2015 maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around then.
He just stumbled onto admin access for a healthcare provider. And it wasn't, some complex attack.
No, not at all. It was the default login.
Exactly. Admin. That's simple.
Wow.
And bam, access to 200,000 patient records, medical info, financial details, even their medication stock.
That is staggering, just sitting there behind admin.
Shows how basic things can get missed with huge consequences.
So what did he do? He reported it, right?
Immediately. Sent it straight to CERT Uruguay. That's their National Computer Emergency Response Team.
And it's important to know, in Uruguay, there's no bug bounty culture.
No reward. Not even really a thank you sometimes.
You just report it because, well, it's the right thing to do. It speaks volumes about motivation, doesn't it?
It really does. A sense of civic duty, maybe. And it didn't stop there.
There was more.
Oh, yeah. About a year later, he finds something maybe even worse.
Worse than admin access to 200K records?
Potentially.
Yeah.
He found you could get any patient's medical record without logging in at all.
Oh.
Just by changing a little bit of the website address. A URL parameter.
Oh, that's bad.
Really bad. Think about search engines. Google could have potentially indexed all that private medical data.
Nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
And he reported that too?
Yep. Same process. Reported to CERT, got a ticket number, and that was it.
No confirmation it was fixed. Nothing.
Seems like it. Which, raises questions about how these things are handled. Resources, maybe? Process?
Then there's the incident he actually calls culpable. His word.
Right. This was in 2016. It sounds a bit complex.
He needed old medical records for his ex-partner. Something about a blood donation, 9 years back.
Okay.
But the system only lets you search, 3 months back?
A standard limitation, probably.
So he tried to bypass that limit, and, he accidentally crashed the server.
Ah, okay. Not ideal.
No. But he stresses absolutely no bad intentions. He wasn't trying to break things. And he has proof, emails from September 2017, showing he was still talking to CERT. Responsible disclosure.
That's crucial context. It shows ongoing engagement, but it also highlights the risks, right? Even when trying to help.
Definitely a fine line. And then things took a really sharp turn.
Yeah, this is where it gets kind of unbelievable. In September 2017, he gets arrested.
By Interpol.
And get this, on the exact same day the vice president of Uruguay resigned.
You can't make this stuff up.
So the news cycle, it wasn't all about the VP. Suddenly there's this hacker story. Alberto's arrest actually overshadowed the political news, apparently.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And the warrant itself was weird, too.
A bit, yeah. His name was slightly wrong on it. Alvaro Daniel Giulantagnoli, not Alberto.
Odd. And what they confiscated.
All is electronic, sure, but also a paper guillotine, an anonymous mask.
Okay, that paints a picture, doesn't it? Especially when the Ministry of Interior puts out a press release.
Exactly. Public perception gets shaped very quickly.
Yeah.
And there was the issue of money, too.
Right. He had a lot of cash on him.
He did, but he had an explanation. Bitcoin trading. Said he'd just sold some to a European tourist. Totally legitimate, he claimed.
But you can see how in that context it might look suspicious.
Absolutely. Misunderstandings happen so easily, especially with tech and crypto involved.
So this all leads back to the main point of his conference talk, right?
Precisely. His core message was, you can do what you genuinely believe is the right ethical thing in security and still end up in serious trouble, unexpectedly, facing really negative consequences.
It makes you think. Universities teach ethics, sure, the basics. But these real-world situations, these gray areas.
They're often not covered. How do you navigate this kind of scenario? There's no textbook answer.
You go from being, a security professional trying to help to being labeled a criminal. That's a huge, scary shift.
It really underscores the danger when you don't have clear legal safe harbors or proper support systems for people who find and report vulnerabilities ethically.
Yeah, the frameworks matter so much.
Looking at Alberto's whole experience, it just hammers home how complicated this all is. Vulnerability disclosure isn't simple. Good intentions aren't always enough protection.
So here's something for you, listening, to chew on. We live online. Vulnerabilities are basically a fact of life now. How do we, individuals, companies, governments, balance security, ethics, and the law?
It's a tough balance.
What does Alberto's story make you think about our responsibilities? When we find a flaw, what should happen next? What are the real risks? Something to consider.